Let's get you right to team coverage of this morning's breaking news. Tolls at the downtown and midtown tunnels will go forward.
10 on your side was the first to report this ruling just after 9 this morning. It's a decision many in the region already call a disappointment. The state Supreme Court reversed a Portsmouth judge's ruling. Tolls amounted to an unconstitutional tax. The ruling allows tolls on drivers at the tunnels as soon as February. We're talking about the Midtown and Downtown tunnels. We're on your side with 4 reporters covering exactly what the decision means and how it impacts you. We begin with 10 on your side's Aaron Kelly, who was in the courtroom in Richmond when the ruling came down. Aaron.
Well, this is the 52-page decision that we heard. We heard the decision come down from here at the Supreme Court just after 9 a.m. We came out as soon as we heard it, and this is what it says. The Virginia Supreme Court has ruled to reverse a decision from a Portsmouth judge that would have stopped tolls at the Midtown and Downtown tunnels. Those tolls that were scheduled to start in February will go forward. The justices ruled that the tolls are user fees and not taxes, as some Portsmouth businesses have argued. The court said the General Assembly properly used its power to set the rates of tolls for VDOT. Now, opponents to polls have argued that unelected bodies cannot set the rate of return on these polls, and this decision was a huge blow for Patrick McSweeney and the Portsmouth businesses he represented in this fight.
Elected officials ought to be accountable for imposing things. When you take money from one person's pocket and put it in another's, that clearly is something that elected officials ought to be accountable for. Not through layers, not through unelected people and bureaucrats.
McSweeney went on to say that this has widespread ramifications for the states, and he says he believes that it will lead to more tolls in the region. And that's the latest here from Richmond. Now live, Aaron Kelly, 10 on your side.
All right, Aaron, thanks. Now, Governor Bob McDonnell just sent us his statement on the tolls decision. He applauds the ruling, saying in part, quote, "While we understand the financial impact this toll will have on local commuters, the Elizabeth River Tunnel project is a necessity to ensuring ongoing safety and economic development in the region."
And from Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, who's also running to be Virginia's next governor, while I understand some people in Hampton Roads dislike these tolls, Virginia's Public-Private Transportation Act is a significant law that makes it possible to develop major transportation projects that might not otherwise be built. Needless to say, a lot of reaction here in Hampton Roads coming from this decision.
And a lot of frustration. We'll begin this part of our coverage with 10 Your Side's Andy Fox, who has been following the toll debate from the beginning.
He's live at the downtown tunnel with more on what Portsmouth residents and business owners have to say. Andy, Portsmouth may take the brunt of this ruling.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. If people in Portsmouth want to get to Norfolk, or Norfolk people want to get to Portsmouth, you got to go through these tunnels. You got to go through the Midtown and Downtown tunnels. And now, beginning February 1st, barring any amazing thing that might happen in January General Assembly session, these tolls will be implemented on February 1st. In the ruling, the justices said that the Public-Private Transportation Act is the law passed by the General Assembly, and they have to assume that the General Assembly is the law of Virginia. And when that happened, it undermined the entire case of the people here in Portsmouth who were fighting to keep the tolls off the tunnels. It was very disappointing today down at Brudy's restaurant when 10 on Your Side informed them that they had lost. Yeah, we're getting word from Richmond that the decision was reversed. At Brudy's restaurant in downtown Portsmouth, you could have heard a pin drop. It was sad and quiet and deflating.
Obviously, this is very disappointing. I do want to thank all the citizens of Hampton Roads and Portsmouth that stuck together throughout this fight. It was one mission, one fight, one cause, and we stayed together.
Portsmouth businessman Charles Greenhood.
This is going to mean total devastation to the Hampton Roads economy and opens the door to unprecedented tolling.
The decision by the state Supreme Court was unanimous against the no toll supporters. The decision was unanimous. What do you think?
It's insane. It's unthinkable. It could be unanimous. Not one justice.
Unanimous? No.
All Portsmouth Mayor Kenny Wright can do is just shake his head. No Tolls organizer Terry Danaher looking to the next round in the fight, although acknowledges they are bloody and badly beaten right now.
To look at the federal level and to go to the environmental justice aspect of this, where we look at economic impact and environmental impact.
And that appears to be taking this case to the federal level. We don't know where that will go, and they are in the process of talking with Patrick McSweeney to figure out the next step and where they go. One of the big issues that they were arguing was that the State Corporation Commission should have this independent review on the rate of return, how much the private partnership can make on tolls over the course of the next 58 years. In its decision, the justices basically said they disagree with that the State Corporation Commission should not even be involved because it's a Public-Private Transportation Act implemented and approved by the General Assembly that is the overriding law. Now, my colleague Ava Hurdle is standing by live in downtown Portsmouth with some reactions from business owners there. Ava?
Yeah, Andy, business owners we've talked to here along High Street, they're just getting word of this, and there's some fear here that there'll be less traffic, fewer customers here. Some are even angry about it. We caught up with a restaurant owner who weighed in on the ruling.
I think it's going to have a horrible effect on downtown Portsmouth. I mean, it's already an economically struggling area, you know, and I think that what we've seen from the tunnel closings is just a precursor.
One business owner did tell us that he hopes a possible appeal to the General Assembly can help turn things around. We're live in Portsmouth. Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
Ava, thank you. So now the decision is made. It's going to cost you a bit of money once the sensors on both tunnels are fired up come February.
Now, 10 on your side's Cheryl Tan spent the morning crunching the numbers. She's live now in the newsroom with what it means for your bottom line. Cheryl?
Don, the most direct options for travelers between Norfolk and Portsmouth just got a whole lot more expensive starting February 1st. If you know you'll be traveling regularly through the downtown and midtown tunnels, your money saver is getting the Easy Pass, which you can buy online and at other locations. Here's a look at why. With an Easy Pass, you'll be charged $1.84 during peak times. Peak times are between 5:30 to 9 a.m. and 2:30 to 7 p.m. weekdays. All other times are considered non-peak when you'll be paying $1.59. If you're in a truck, it's higher than that. Peak rate for truckers, $7.36, off-peak, $4.77. So if you travel either of these two tunnels twice a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, you'll pay almost $957 a year to get to work and back. So let's take a look at other options now. One is the South Norfolk Jordan Bridge, which also carries a toll that costs $1.50 each way with an Easy Pass. Two more options are available that don't cost money in tolls, but it could mean you spend more in gas. The I-64 high-rise bridge to George Washington Highway or the Gilmerton Bridge on Military Highway in Chesapeake. Now, I mentioned earlier it was a good idea to get that Easy Pass. You can still travel through the tunnels if you don't have one, but you'll still be sent a bill through what's called the pay-by-plate program for an added $3.18. Lots of details on this, including where to buy an Easy Pass on wavy.com. Cheryl Tan, 10 on your side.
All right, Cheryl, thanks. Now, we continue to get reaction to this breaking news. The tolls at the tunnels will be allowed to go on. There is more from our reporters collecting those details in our next half hour. Plus, we'll continue our live team coverage of this important decision on Wavy News 10 tonight at 5. And right now on wavy.com, you can read the full decision as well as see all of the stories we've covered since the toll debate began.